And we're live on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. Jerry is here, but I had to come up with something fun to do, so we're going to do something fun. Practice what I'm going to do with my group today and see how that goes. As you can tell, everything I do is live. And I got a little submarine. We're going to do Battleship. We're going to have some Battleship online spreadsheet. Here's your little submarine. Woo, woo, woo. There's a Battleship, and I got that was a submarine. Here's a Battleship. Got a Battleship, or maybe a cruiser. Looks like a Battleship. Looks like a World War I battleship. It's got the little biplane on it. It's kind of dusty. This was a gift from a friend of mine, son, who passed away. But I figured I'd share it because it's always good to share stuff that people give you and celebrate their lives and what they did. Anyway, so we're going to do a little fun, and we're going to do Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay. And like I said, Jerry's here. He's with Dad today. He says today's a dad day. So it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. We usually do a fun Friday, something fun. I'm going to be experimenting later with a fun activity for my group of coaches. And we're going to do online Battleship, which I found online. I forgot what channel I found it on. I don't know if I saved it or not. No, I didn't. Sorry. But if you look it up, it's a Battleship spreadsheet, but I'm going to recreate it myself rather than go to someone else's Google Docs. And because if you're inside the company, you can get some, you don't want to do that. You want to keep your security tight. So I'm going to show you how you can create it in spreadsheets for yourselves and share that with your group. And so 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show, Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile coach. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. And I am going to loop this around and why you do this and why this applies to your teams, by the way, so that you bring more value, not work crazy hours, have a little fun along the way, and get home to family and friends, right? So, and then I looked all over the place I know we have a Battleship game somewhere. I couldn't find it. I don't know what my family did with it. I wanted to show what the board game looks like, and then how you do it virtually. So I think it's going to be a quick show, but let's go through. So Battleship, usually you get like a submarine in there, and there is a battleship, and there's an aircraft carrier and a cruiser. I don't have all those things. I used to have an aircraft carrier myself. I don't know, it's here somewhere. Things like that. So what it is a 10 by 10 square. So I saw what they did as a good concept. So I'm going to translate that concept for you so you don't have to create it in Google or go to some other site and bring that on, violate security protocols and all that. And you just need a sharing program, whether it be Teams, Slack, whatever you have to share video, Cisco, whatever it is, Zoom, on your team, so you can kind of see each other's face and see their boards at some point in time. So what you do is you create a spreadsheet with 2 blocks on it. Okay. And I'm going to kind of show, we're going to go through this whole thing. I drew it all out while I was doing it just to have it. And it's getting reflections from the screen, and I'll verbally say it just so for the people who are on podcast. So, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're on a podcast, if you give us a rating and share with your friends, that would be awesome, because apparently that's the only way you get podcast growth. Besides buying ads. I might do that soon. So you make a spreadsheet that you let your teams, or you send it to your teammates. And I'm trying to typically Battleship is 2-person game. But we know in a Scrum team, you can have up to 9 people, up to 10 people on a team. You can have more if you wanted to. So I had to come up with a way of making it for multiple players. And there's probably instructions there, but I really didn't want to go through their Google Docs and do that. I don't like going to other people's sites sometimes, especially Docs and Google, and worried about security. So what it is you make a grid on your board, and you go, 1 through 10, you number the grids because it's going to change a little bit because it's a spreadsheet and you can't use the cells. And then you go through A through J, and these are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So A through J is 10, and then 1 through 10. So you make a grid. The way they described it, which I thought was good for a spreadsheet, very, very old school. A hit was an X. I could see this being like an Atari or an old Apple IIe game with the green screen, right? A miss would be an O or a circle or 0. A ship would be an S, right? And the way they play the game is like the carrier is 5 S's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you put the 5 S's, they put that. And if you wanted to, you can set this up on the spreadsheet. You draw a carrier, put a little image there that takes up 5 squares. So go on the internet, grab a picture of an aircraft carrier. You can put that next to it so they can put the S's, and you can put a picture in there, just make it look pretty if you want. The battleship's 4 S's. A cruiser is 3 S's. A destroyer is 2 S's, and a sub is 2 S's. So basically, in this grid, you put them, and you don't do any diagonals. There's no diagonals, either across or up or down. It's very simple. So here, like I have 5 S's going across, 3 S's going across in the middle, 2 on the side, 2 at the bottom, and 3 or side bottom, right bottom, and then 3 S's for my cruiser on the bottom. So I was thinking, so also, if people are like anti-violent and they don't like this battleship, though, I'm going to tell you why I like the battleship thing, and it's okay. It's war. It's a battleship. It's a game. Okay, but you could do capture the critter. Okay, so I came up with this in case they don't like battleships and it gets. Even just thinking about a battleship will trigger somebody. You can do capture critter. And that might trigger somebody too, but we're going to release it. We're going to catch the critter, and we're going to put it in a temporary relocation because they're building houses on their land, or an oil spill happened and you got to save the critters. Okay, so maybe we do save the critters from the oil spill. You do that too. So I wanted to give you 2 variations. But I like the battleship, but you can also do save the critter from the oil spill. So you can do an alligator. Right, you could draw an alligator, a turtle, maybe 2. I drew this one eagle, right? An eagle would be like a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 vertical. Something different from battleship, where instead of always being that way, it's 4 across and 1 up or down, upside down eagle or a bird or something like that. You save, and you can put a snail, you can put a fish. So you can do all these little critters. So save the critter from the oil spill. Maybe I should do another one. I should make that another show. Probably should. Oh, too late. Now you got 2 options. You got to do battleship, or you can do save the critter from the oil spill and have some fun that way. And this is the thing. Now, how do you do this with multiple players, right? So depending on the number of people on your team, you got to set it up. You preset this up where you have a little spreadsheet, and then you share the spreadsheet with each person. They open it up. They have their own version of the spreadsheet. Use a dice, right? So let's say you have 6 people on a team, or it doesn't matter. You have a 6 point dice. To make it go a little faster, you roll the dice and say how many hits, how many things you can register. And in the way, for every person on the group, you need to have a 10 by 10 square for every person. You put their name on it that's on the team, so that you can track where you take shots at. Okay. You roll the dice, and if you get a 6, you get to take 6 shots, right, at sinking their ships. If you get a 1, it's always 2. So 2 and 1s are always considered 2 shots. So you're always taking 2 shots just to keep it going. But sometimes you get to take 6 shots, depending on the dice. If you don't have dice, you can use spreadsheet, and you can do a random number generation between 1 or 2 and 6. Skip the 1 because it just doesn't matter. So it's either you write the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your spreadsheet, and then you write the code. It says random, and you highlight the cells on the spreadsheet. And every time you re-enter the random, it'll give you a random number, and that's your dice roll. Okay, so you can have between 2 and 6 shots at the other team, because if you have a big team, you want to just keep this moving, and they can take, because like if you had 10 people, if you had one, this game would take forever. So you might as well give them like 6 shots to capture, or 6 chances to catch the birds that they're hiding. When you're all done, everyone shows their, like whenever you sync everyone's ships and you're tracking it on your screen, then you say, hey, I sank your battleship, or I captured all your critters, or whatever you want to call it. And then everyone can share the screens in the activity. So with that was the fun thing for the day. I'm going to experiment with that, my team. I'll let you know next week how it goes, because we're doing that later today. And I got to set that all up with the spreadsheets and all. But that's the basics. So basically, it's a 10 by 10 square on a spreadsheet. Use X for hit, O's or zeros for misses, S for ships, and then carriers 5 S's, battleship 4, cruisers 3 S's, destroyer is 2, and a sub is 2, right? But I was like making a very version of it with critters, so you can come up with critters, right? That you can save. And you can get pictures of them, or you can do whatever from that. So with that, let's do Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! Jerry, you want a fortune cookie later? Oh, poor guy. He's all sad. He's sitting right here. All right, so we're open to fortune cookie. So what's the fortune cookie say? And again, these are the agile accountants. We haven't visited the agile accountants in a while, trying to stay away from them. And we'll see what they say. So lucky numbers. Okay, and then again, if you win the lottery or something, because you play these lucky numbers, donations are always welcome. 35, 55, 39, 38, and 21. So those are your lucky numbers. If you win the lottery, donations are welcome. All right. Okay, here's what it says. Moderate your appetite so that with a little you may be content. Moderate your appetite so that with a little you may be content. I'm going to say it goes with this spreadsheet battleship. It's not complicated. You don't have to log in. There's no copyright infringements or anything like that. You can easily set this up. So that little bit of thing where you do where you do a little bit of setup, it's very simple. It's not complex. It's just a grid of 10 by 10 with some labels on the side that you can replicate a million times, depending on how many people on your team. That little bit of fun. Now, what I forgot to say in this session about the fun, why we do this, because what you're going to see when someone wins, how excited they get to be, right? The goal, it may not be achievable, is when we get stuff done in our sprint that we're excited and happy that we achieved that, right? So now everyone's going to see, oh, I missed it. Then you get to see the facial expressions on everyone's face, because when you're playing this game, you're watching everyone's face. You're not showing the screen with anybody. So it's that's another good point. I just thought of that too. Another good point is that you're doing face-to-face interaction. You can't play this game with the monitors off. I forgot to say that, right? So the monitors are on so you can see each other. You're not seeing their board because it's on their screen, but you're not sharing screen. You're just sharing your faces. So now you can see how everyone's doing, and you can see what the expression on people's face for victory and defeat. And it helps people bond a little bit more as a team, because they understand what makes them happy and what makes them sad. So you're going to see a little more of those facial expressions, the dynamics across the board. Oh my God, you hit my ship. Oh no. Oh, I hit your ship. I got you. Yeah. So those are the kind of things that you're going to see in this dynamic. And I got a comment here. Hold on. I'm off on tangent. Hey, Tula. Good stuff, Coach. Hey, thanks, man. So this is what you get in this Battleship game. So it's so fun. And I had to bring it back around. Why is it good? So we're at the 15-minute mark, because that's the length of our daily scrum. So we're going to cut it off here. But I want to say, get to that point where you're excited. You can have it, people. Very simple, as the fortune cookie says, moderate your appetite so that with a little you may be content. So just with that little spreadsheet, it's very simple. You can be content, do something fun without going crazy and over the top and not working very hard to get there. All right. Take care, everyone. Have an awesome day. Happy scrumming. We'll see you next time. Bye. See ya.